You're watching Cable 2.
Good evening and welcome to the October 24th, 2023 Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools Board of Education meeting. I am Deanna Kaplan, Board Chair, and I appreciate your attendance, and I also say good evening to our viewers on Cable 2. Will you please rise as we start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing as you are able for the invocation given by Board Member Susan Miller.
God, we know that the greatest wisdom always comes to those who choose to follow, serve, and honor you. Be with each board member as he or she exercises wisdom today. May these leaders honor you through their debates, votes, and may the results of their decisions truly benefit the people of our community. Help every one of us to serve wisely and faithfully. In your loving name we pray, dear Lord. Amen.
I want to start by apologizing. We're having some technical difficulties, so they're trying to get everything fixed, but I do apologize for that. Our first order of business tonight is the agenda review. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as written? Do I have a second? I have a motion by Vice Chair Bohannon, a second by Board Member Kuhn. Any discussion? Hearing none, do I have a motion? All in favor? Thank you. That's unanimous. Our next order of business is our student performance. Please welcome the Glenn High School Chorus.
shake your hand. They want to. Okay, all right, so go back row. Go back row first. Go back row first. Let's take a round.
Our next order of business is special recognitions. First, Aaron Edward, Director of AIG, will present our Capstone Award recipients.
Good evening, Board. Ms. McManus, I stand before you today with great enthusiasm and pride to celebrate a remarkable achievement of our students who have earned the prestigious AP Capstone Diploma. This accomplishment is a testament to their dedication, intellectual prowess, and commitment to excellence. Participating in the AP Capstone program goes beyond the ordinary, providing students with a unique opportunity to stand out in the competitive landscape of college applications. It is not merely about acquiring knowledge, but about honing critical academic skills that extend far beyond the classroom, preparing students for the challenges of higher education and the professional world. One of the key benefits of the AP Capstone program is its ability to foster self-confidence and independence. Through engaging in rigorous academic research, critical thinking, and collaborative problem solving, these students have not only expanded their intellectual horizons, but have also emerged as independent thinkers and adept problem solvers. These skills are not only indispensable in academia, but also serve as a strong foundation for success in any future endeavor. Moreover, the AP Capstone program is a gateway to earning college credit. Many esteemed institutions recognize the rigor of this program and offer credits for qualifying scores. This not only eases the transition to college, but it also underscores the program's academic distinction and its focus on developing skills that are highly valued in today's dynamic world. The flexibility of the student-centered curricula in AP Capstone is a noteworthy feature. It provides room for creativity and for student input, allowing each participant to tailor their academic journey according to their interests and their strengths. This, in turn, nurtures a passion for learning and encourages a lifelong pursuit of knowledge. Today, we are here to recognize those students who have gone above and beyond, achieving the AP Capstone Diploma by earning scores of 3 or higher on AP Seminar, AP Research, and 4 additional AP exams. This is no small feat. It is a mark of distinction that sets these students apart as not only academically accomplished, but also as individuals who have demonstrated a commitment to real-world problem solving, critical inquiry, and collaboration. The AP Capstone Diploma program is more than an academic achievement. It is a symbol of the transformative power of education. It equips our students with the skills and mindset necessary to navigate the challenges of the future. Let us applaud these students for their exceptional dedication, congratulate them on their well-deserved success, and thank the educators who have guided them on this remarkable journey. Please join me in congratulating Caleb Barbour, Jessica Hackenbruch, Andy Hamilton, Calvin Sherman, Ryan Munley, Mac Dishman, Camden Adams, and William Downs.
Congratulations. Do you have family in the audience? Okay. I'd like to recognize the family. Would you all like to stand? Congratulations. Next, Andrew Kraft, Director of Arts, and Penny Freeland, Lead Art Director, will present the North Carolina Arts and Education Awards.
If I could have my other slide, please. Thank you. There it is. Good evening, Superintendent McManus, Madam Chair, members of our Board of Education, and special guest. And thank you for being here to celebrate and congratulate some outstanding people in this room. Each year, the North Carolina Art Education Association gives out awards to outstanding educators to recognize their commitment and contributions to visual arts in North Carolina. And as you know, we have a very large state. We have 116 school districts in our state. And out of those school districts, we have a young lady who was recognized over the weekend at our awards ceremony. Her picture is on our screen. As you can tell from her picture, she seeks very creative ways to engage her students in learning and creating. She is a very gifted and talented artist in her own right, and even sold works of art at this year's conference while she was having them in a members exhibit. So she does phenomenal things, along with being a phenomenal arts educator. And so we celebrate with her tonight, as we did on Sunday, because she not only got one award, but two. She was nominated for the Elementary Art Educator of the Year, which she received. But there was more. She was also voted as the overall North Carolina Art Education Association Art Educator of the Year. Congratulations, Fran Payne. We were very privileged to have Fran and her family and her husband, who is with us, if he'll stand. Yes, I did it. Her principal, Wendy Brewington, was with us, and of course, her superintendent, Tricia McManus, was with us, which brings up another slide. Not only did Fran win an award, but she likes to share in the wealth. She nominated our superintendent, Tricia McManus, for a Friend of the Arts Award, which she received on Sunday as well. Yes. And let me take just a moment to tell you why. Last year, Ms. McManus launched something new, a superintendent's art gallery. We have art in this building and on all 3 floors of the administrative center. And with that gallery came a wonderful reception where those artists were celebrated with their friends and families, their educators, their principals, and anyone else that wanted to come. And Tricia was there to hand out all those certificates and take the time to meet each one of those artists and make pictures with them. And those children felt very special that evening. And my teachers felt very appreciated and validated. And there's just no amount of money that can be stamped on that one. You can't make that up. It was awesome. Okay? So thank you so much, Tricia McManus, for what you do for visual arts in Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Dr. Frederica Stokes, Assistant Superintendent of Student Support, will lead us in recognizing the National School Psychology Awareness Week, which is November 6th through the 10th. Oh, not Dr. Stokes.
Yep, Dr. Heather Swickrath. Good evening, board members and Superintendent McManus. Thank you for the opportunity to speak and acknowledge our school psychologists this evening. In my short time at Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, I've had the opportunity to work with a great group of individuals who are dedicated to helping the children and families in our district. While the primary task of these 25 individuals is to administer assessments, they often go above and beyond that task to make sure our students receive the attention and care that they need. Not only do they work with other student service team members to meet the needs of students, but they also provide resources to parents in times of need. With that being said, I would like to read the following proclamation and give special recognition to the psychologists in our school system in honor of the upcoming School Psychology Awareness Week in November. The proclamation for National School Psychology Awareness Week, November 6th through 10th, 2023. Whereas children and youth learn best when they are healthy, supported, and receive an education that enables them to thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. And whereas schools can more effectively ensure that all students are able to learn when they meet the needs of the whole child and provide integrated, multi-tiered supports. And whereas children's mental health is directly linked to their learning and development, and the learning environment provides an optimal context to promote good mental health through connectedness within the school and the community. And whereas sound psychological principles are integral to instruction and learning, school safety, social and emotional development, prevention, early intervention, and support of culturally diverse student populations. And whereas school psychologists are specially trained to foster and deliver in the school and community a continuum of mental health services and academic supports that lower barriers to teaching and learning. Whereas school psychologists help children thrive by nurturing their individual strengths across both personal and academic endeavors. And whereas school psychologists are trained to assess student and school-based barriers to learning and individual strengths, utilize data-based decision-making, implement research-driven prevention and intervention strategies, and evaluate outcomes and improve accountability. Whereas Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools should recognize the vital role that school psychologists play in the personal and academic development of our students. Therefore, we, Tricia McManus, Winston-Salem Superintendent, and your Board of Education Chairperson, do hereby proclaim, hopefully, November 6th through 10th, a School Psychology Awareness Week in Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, and commend observance to all of our citizens. I would ask those school psychologists in the audience if you could please stand and be recognized. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you, board members.
Yes, I want to say the same thing. Thank you for all that you do. It's so important. It's enormous. Thank you. Lastly, please enjoy our board spotlight video now that we have everything fixed.
Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated nationally from September 15th to October 15th, and schools throughout the district hold events all month long. At Spies Global Elementary, the festivities included a parade with their first graders leading the way. Each class represented a different country. The big crowd on hand is enough to tell you just how important celebrating Hispanic culture is, not just at Spies, but throughout the district.
For us as Hispanic teachers, it's so special because we are sharing our culture and they receive it with a lot of joy. They love this kind of activity, so it's so special for us.
The Hispanic population has grown exponentially over the past several years and is becoming our largest minority in the county and in our school system. And so it's really important to recognize this heritage, but also to teach the heritage, not just to our Hispanic students, but to all students, so that everyone gains this education and this learning and really learns about other people and other cultures.
Glenn High School again hosted the 27th annual WSFCS Marching Band Jamboree. A large crowd gathered as 12 high school bands came together to put on the shows they've been practicing and performing all year. You could tell their hard work paid dividends as each band performed like a well-oiled machine, with the sound, choreography, and formations all coming together in amazing fashion. Superintendent McManus directed the finale, in which all bands and some 8th graders participated in. 500 band members performing at once is quite the sight to see, and the sound was incredible. WSFCS would like to thank everyone who had a hand in making this year's Marching Band Jamboree a night to remember. We look forward to the spectacle continuing for many years to come. October is National Physical Therapy Month. The WSFCS Physical Therapy Department consists of 9 team members serving 230 students throughout the district. They see kids as young as 3 all the way up to 22 years old. The work they do with students is amazing and is not only helpful at school but also at home. We caught up with a couple of longtime team members in our district to find out the reasons behind the important physical therapy work that's being done.
I love it. I like the kids, I like playing with them. I feel like my job is coming to school and having fun and playing. But I also like helping figure out how to adapt things so that they can participate with their friends.
I love working for the kids. That is our number one priority, is seeing them in their most natural environment, which is school. That's what we want to do. We want to help because we want these students to achieve. We want to see their success. And we'd love to just see them smile and enjoy being here at school.
I hope that even though they can't always communicate with us, I really hope that we are just making their school day happier and more comfortable, and we just want them to be included.
Your 2023 homecoming queen is Emma Wright.
October is also Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and it just so happens that East Forsyth named Emma Wright their 2023 homecoming queen. Emma, who has Down syndrome, was overcome with tears of happiness after receiving the crown that her peers voted on. Principal Rusty Hall said the gesture embodies everything he wants the school to be about, and we couldn't agree more. Congratulations, Emma. The WSFCS Board of Education welcomed dozens of high school students from across the district to the Education Building for a public forum on the state of high school education. The board members listened to the students' concerns and ideas about how schools could do a better job of serving them in the future. The student voice is imperative, and there will be more forums like this for middle and high school students later this year. Thank you to all of our student ambassadors who participated. Your efforts and input make our district the best place to work and learn.
We don't want it to be the students and then the school board. We want to be together as Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools and be one unit, and let's look like a great county to the other counties. Like, one thing they said was, let's get to all this stuff before the other counties, because we want to be one of those top counties where other counties are looking up to us. So just being able to talk to them so we can come together, have one idea that's going to make us a better county overall.
And finally, over 7,000 8th and 10th graders in the district had the opportunity to learn all about the different jobs and career opportunities in our community through the world of work. The 2-day event, sponsored by Bloom Construction, was held at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum. WSFCS and Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. teamed up to bring us this inaugural event. It gave students the chance to speak with professionals in business services, healthcare, construction, manufacturing, and aviation, among others. The hope is this will open their eyes to all the different career options in our area and make the transition from school to workforce easier.
Great opportunity to expose kind of tomorrow's workforce to jobs that will be or might be in the future.
So this is important to us because we need great workforce. And what better place to start than 8th and 10th graders right here in our hometown in Winston-Salem.
You know, we're thankful for everybody that is a part of this, we really do, to make this successful for Winston-Salem, Forsyth County School students and our future workforce. We're hoping to replicate this and learn from it and make it bigger and better as we go forward.
That was great. Thank you. Our next order of business is public comments on agenda items, but we have no one who has signed up, so we will move on to the superintendent's update.
Thank you. So a few of my items I'm going to go quickly through because they were already addressed in the spotlight, but I did want to highlight the next slide, which will show our forum. And just to talk about, there were lots of great feedback from students, but three of the themes that continue to come up and came up last year with the middle school students are really around mental health supports and what that looks like. Metal detectors, that was another hot topic, and how are we using those? What is that? Are we using them in the best way? And then bringing fun back to high school, which really talks to the engagement that our middle schoolers talked about last time they were here. So behind that mental health supports, after talking with the students, one of the things that they said, and the board remembers, is if all those supports are available, how do students know about them? So we produced that behind that link, and it's on the district webpage, a quick Let's Talk episode that talks about it, what supports are available. But then we've decided we're going to have students create a student video and infographic that from their voice describes what is available. So I think the way they might share what's available now that when they've learned it and when they know about it will come across to other students differently. Our goal is that they really do know all that's available in their school and in the community and the resources that we have at our fingertips to address all mental health concerns. So I'm excited about that. So we're listening as far as bringing the fun back. We talked about that a lot on Monday. A lot of that goes along with our portrait of a graduate as well, and how do we make lessons in classrooms more engaging where students are practicing the skills in the portrait. And those are, critical thinking, collaboration, communication, learner's mindset, personal responsibility, empathy. And so, again, listening to their voice is important. And so soon we have the next slide, which is the middle school. Last year we had it on March 21st. We have it again November 7th. Same issues came up then. And so I want to say, after listening to our students last spring, and also doing our shadow visits, that is shortly after that our board adopted the portrait kind of as the North Star for what we need to then, how we need to backwards map that and figure out what that looks like in our classrooms. So that's our big focus. And that this past summer, our Leadership Institute, all of our principals' meetings are about what deeper learning looks and feels like in our classrooms, so that we want students to be able to say, I'm feeling like learning is engaging. I feel like I'm not with my face in the Chromebook. As we talked to our high schoolers last week or 2 weeks ago, that still is a hot topic. So we will continue with our training. We have a team that's recently been formed that has teachers and has principals and has district staff and others talking about our definition of instructional excellence. So if we're talking about engagement, what does that look like in a classroom? And if you ask anybody, it could all sound very different. So getting to what that looks like in our school district and making that a reality in classrooms is really important. We've talked about the implementation of the Code of Character, Conduct, and Support and the implementation. So this year we've rolled out a whole new training strand that is actually being supported in all schools and monitored so that we have more consistency. And so again, we're going to continue to improve our efforts. I could go on and on about some of the things that we've done. But our goal will be when our high schoolers come back, and I think we decided let's bring the same group of high schoolers back in the spring so we can hear that same group talk about what improvements did they see. And I think that'll be, like, if they can say we're feeling the improvements on their end as students, I think that'll be a win for us. And so we're going to keep at it, listening to the voice of our children. All right, next slide. World of Work, already highlighted that, but that kind of shows you the numbers there about how many kids attended and how many, we had a lot of our own CTE pathway teachers and students there. And so really, I think kids were excited to learn about all the careers. I had three young men from Walkertown on the way out that we're talking about, they liked cooking, and I was like, oh, that's incredible. I wish that I could say the same, but that was awesome. And I was like, did you find anybody to talk to around culinary? Because that's a great career. And so they had a chance to do that. So basically, that was really a great event. And so thank you to, Kim and our CTE team, all of our volunteers that helped with that event, our county commission for supporting that with funding, Greater Winston-Salem, Inc., all of those businesses that came out and took time to be there, all of our teachers that took time to be there. It was a really great event. Next, a couple more. So this is going to be our third year that we are doing we're all in this together. 3 years ago, it was an idea just to say, how could the central office work together to provide support for families during Thanksgiving? And a very small idea has turned into a massive undertaking. So thanks to, Mark Batten, Terry Matthews, our communications team, and all of our volunteers and folks that have donated money, you can see on that chart, and it's in central office. If you come into the office at 475, the building, you can see that 800 families, our second year impact report shows that 800 families have been served, 3,200 meals for over the holidays, 800 books, 4,000 activities. The goal was that kids would have things to do at home over that holiday break, and that families would have food. But it's become so much bigger than just central office. We have 30 community partners that have provided $30,000 in in-kind donations. So we're going into our third year of this, and there are ways you can either donate or serve. And so this will be out there for anyone that wants to support this effort. And last but not least, second to the last but not least, daylight savings. We all love that time when we set back our clock. It's a lot better than springing ahead. Set back the clock, gain an hour, but we want to make sure that our kids get to school on time, and that our adults, not just the kids, the adults get to school on time. And so we want to make sure we remind everybody of that. So this will be on the webpage. This will go out to schools. This will go out to everyone for that reminder that on Monday, November 6th, we'll be operating on Eastern Standard Time. So everyone, don't forget to set those clocks back. And now I think it's last but not least. So, we are, it's very important that we create environments that include everyone. And I know that, the month of October was Hispanic Heritage Month, and we received an email from one of our families that said, hey, November will be Native American Heritage Month. And we said we need to do more to make sure we continue to celebrate all of the cultures represented in our district. And so we put this slide up. We have 72 students that are Native American in our district now. But if you look holistically, 8.7 million across the United States, 300 in North Carolina, and 72 students that are Native American in our own district. So we will celebrate Native American heritage, and we'll see things happening in schools just like we did in October for Hispanic Heritage. So thank you.
Thank you. That's great. Our next order of business is discussion items. We have one discussion item. Nathan Craver, our Executive Director for Strategic Planning and School Improvement, will discuss the School Improvement Plan review.
All right, good evening, Board. Ms. McManus. I'm here tonight to talk about our School Improvement Plan process. Tonight, we're presenting to you the process and have shared with you each of the links to review all of our schools' improvement plans. And then we'll come back at the second board meeting next month to ask for your approval on those plans. Just as a reminder, this is our general statute that does require that every school in North Carolina have a board-approved plan. And I'm not going to read this whole paragraph to you, but you can see that we do have a plan, or we are required to have a plan, and it is required to be approved by the board. And then for our schools that are identified as low performing, it is a requirement that they use the NC STAR application, which is the links that you guys were provided. And since we have some of our schools that are required to use that, we have made the decision in Winston-Salem that everybody would use that as our platform. The purpose of our school improvement plans it's really about continuous improvement, where we want to make data-driven decisions around assessing our programs and our practices, and then be able to monitor those practices so that we can ensure student success. We have found that effective school improvement processes include or empower our teacher voices and increase ownership of school improvement. And then there's been research out there that shows that effective school improvement teams and that increased ownership and increased teacher voices are characteristics of high-performing schools. So there's a strong correlation between teacher voice, effective school improvement teams and plans, as well as high-performing schools. And then you can see our school improvement sort of plan process, how we go through this before we get to you guys. And so all of our schools completed the facilitated assessment of MTSS prior to June 30th. This year it was actually prior to our summer institute, so that they would have that done ahead of time. Each school is asked to develop 3 to 5 goals that are aligned to the strategic plan and focused on the highest priority needs of that school. We then identify research-based indicators that are identified in NC STAR, which align to the FAMS assessment and to their school goals. And then they develop action steps to implement those goals. And then finally, they monitor those plans throughout the year through bi-monthly team meetings, so twice a month. I do want to call your attention there to the picture there on the right, or the graphic, specifically number 7. You'll notice that it says monitor outcomes and make adjustments. A good plan is one that can be adjusted throughout the year. So what you're approving is their beginning plan, but know that if they get 2 months into the plan and realize a strategy isn't working, they may opt to change that action step or stop trying that action step and implement something else and try that again. But the real thing that we ask them not to change is their goals throughout the year. So, they may change their strategies and actions, but their goals will remain the same throughout the year. Next on this, you can see that the process, it falls on our area superintendents to really support the principals in the providing coaching and guidance into setting those goals and what those schools should be working on. We do have school improvement directors who then provide that classroom level and school-based level support in a tiered support model. Then each area provides peer reviews throughout the year to get feedback from their colleagues and peers from other schools. And then my job is to help support them in the data analysis and strategic planning support, what makes a good plan, what makes a good goal, those types of things. And then as we look through those plans, what you should see is that their goals are really focused around 5 big areas around academics, so that deeper learning that the superintendent just spoke about. How are they going to implement deeper learning in their buildings? Attendance, how do we make sure kids are coming to class and attending school regularly, and then working on discipline, as you've heard about the code of conduct and how we're going to reduce discipline so that kids are in classes and in supportive environments, and then social emotional learning, and then finally parent engagement. So those are the 5 big buckets that you'll see most of their goals written around. And so I'll leave that. Anybody have any specific questions about the process or the plans? Yes, sir.
First of all, I just want to say thank you, Nathan. I was at the South Side Principals meeting when you were looking at data and going through data, and had the principals there, and you were guiding them through all of that. So thank you for that. And also, where's the South Side? Anybody from the South Side principals? She's not here? Okay, all right. Well, I was going to commend her because she was also, the superintendent was also there at that meeting, so guiding principals. But my question becomes, when was the last time we had a revision on NC STAR? I think it's still very cumbersome. It's very tedious. Have we had any major revisions? I know it's a state program, but have we had any revisions to NC STAR?
Not to the actual software itself. They did update the indicators and update a few of the supporting documents that go along with it, but the software itself is the same that it's been for years.
Okay, thank you.
And you had a question? Yes, ma'am.
So mine comes from a different standpoint. I went through and looked at it from a parent standpoint, because you can't have a true SIP plan and a SIP team without parent engagement. And I looked through quite a few of them, and there are not parents on our SIP teams. So how are we addressing that with individual schools to ensure we have actual sit teams that are within compliance of the law.
Yeah, so we did go back as part of that request and take a look at our schools, and we did realize that there were some who did not have them listed. Some of that was a documentation problem, so they have parent reps, they just haven't updated the page for this year. So we worked with our school improvement directors this week to make sure that those were updated. And then we also reached out to the area superintendents as well as the school improvement directors to have conversations with any schools that didn't, to make sure that they have a parent rep, because it is required to have a parent rep. So most of the ones that we found were due to documentation, and they do have parent representation. It just had not been updated. And then a couple of schools that we needed to follow up with to make sure that they find a parent.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Madam Chair, I
Yes.
have one. Nathan, how many school improvement directors do we have in the district at large?
So we have one for each area, so 4, and then we did have 5, and one of them has transitioned to supporting the school transformation department.
Yeah, okay.
So they work alongside their area superintendent and to support
Right.
the school improvement side of work. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Nathan.
Any more questions, comments? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Well, our next order of business is action items. We have one action item tonight for a vote. First, consider approval of the Education Resource Group Professional Development Contract for Mineral Springs Middle School. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Board Member Crowley, a second by Vice Chair Bohannon. Any discussion? Yes, Board Member Coon?
So I brought this up in agenda review. This is the second time that this group has been used within the last year for the same school. And I understand it's Title I dollars. I understand it's at the discretion of the school. But this is the same exact professional development for the same exact school.
Yeah.
So did we not hit the mark the first time, or what's going on?
No, it's a continuation, and I do have notes. Dion reached out to the school, and they did send why they've gone into a second year of a contract with them. And they do have some turnover. They had some turnover as well, so they have a lot of new teachers on campus, and so this group is working directly and coaching new teachers. I will send the board, Sean provided a whole documentation about what they did last year and why they wanted to continue with them. So I will send that to you. It's sitting in my email inbox. But yeah, they said it's coaching a lot of their newer teachers. So.
Any other questions? Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Thank you. That's unanimous. Our next order of business is consent agenda. First, consider approval of the September 12th, 2023 Board of Education meeting minutes. Next, consider approval of the September 26, 2023 Board of Education meeting. And lastly, consider approval of the general personnel report. Do I have a motion to approve all consent agenda items?
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Board Member Barr, a second by Board Member Watts. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Thank you. That's unanimous. Our next order of business is announcements. Tuesday, November 14th, 2023 will be our next regular meeting of the Board of Education. Before we begin the section of our meeting in which anyone can comment on almost anything, let me say to our Cable 2 viewers, thank you for watching. This will conclude our broadcast. This time we're going to open.
Thank you for joining us on your school channel, Cable 2.